Special offers, helpful hints, FAQs, silly holidays. These are just a few of the ideas for great email campaigns that can work for your store. We're gonna go through 25 that we've seen work the best for other stores across millions of dollars in sales and thousands of companies. Let's get started. Idea number one, and the first thing in the special offers category, is discounts. Now, that's a pretty common thing. You've seen that done most often as a site-wide discount, 10% off, free freight, something like that. We suggest you kind of steer clear from those type of specials. Instead, we like to suggest narrower things. Think about a category. If you sell clothing, you might have categories like shirts and shorts and socks. Maybe just do something on just shorts, a more narrow focused deal. There's a couple of hidden benefits within that. Number one is that you'll find that you get people started thinking about buying. You pull them into that mode, but if they go there and they look at that short special and they're looking for a shirt, or you hit them with something that interests them, now you've got this full price sale. That is going to increase your average cart value. It's going to increase your profitability. So think about narrow categories as opposed to broad site-wide deals. So we like a single product sale, a couple products that are related type of sale, or a category sale. So that way you could still keep it themed and focused, but it is not giving away discounts and margins across every product on your site. When you're running discounts, also think about the wording of how you present this. Things like flash sales or instant rebate tend to convey a higher degree of urgency to your customer. That we found is going to convert better in an email than just talking about 10% off, which doesn't really convey that urgency. Idea number two, trade in, trade up. So this is a concept that we're seeing more and more people use as a way to engage with their customers. Perhaps you have a product that a trade-in is possible, you can get real value, you could fix it up and you can resell it, and that increases your margin. In other industries, maybe what the trade-in is more of a recycling opportunity or something like that, rewarding folks for doing good things. Whatever applies to your business, think about something like a trade-in, trade-up as a new way to go to market. The next idea is free items. Instead of having a discount, think about what could you put in as a freebie. Maybe it's a t-shirt, some piece of merchandise, or perhaps it's a related product you can get with a partner company to throw in, something that's going to, again, give your customer a reason to want to buy and want to buy today. Promotional bundles is another thing that work really well. Bundle together several different things and show that value. You've probably seen that on Amazon. A lot of third-party sellers there have kind of mastered that. Is showing that idea of giving someone a more complete bundle tends to also push them over the edge. It's a way you can do something with either minimal or no discount and still go forward with something that looks appealing and, again, could create a demand that wasn't there otherwise. Number five is financing deals. Go forward with something like 6 months interest-free, 12 months interest-free, and present that as the offer. Instead of talking about price, instead of discounting your product, use that. A lot of times, if you're using it at a firm or Afterpay or one of those kind of guys, the cost actually to you of covering an additional amount of months for free interest is very low compared to the discount you probably have to do to get people to take action. So take a look at how those work and look at doing a 6-month interest-free sale. What's your favorite special offer email idea? Tell me in the comments. Love to hear from you. Before we move on from the deals topics, let's go over a couple of pro tips that might help you. Number one, make sure you're creating a sense of urgency. Put forward limited time, the expiration date, if you have limited inventory. Make sure those are things you're putting forward. Create that urgency. That fear of missing out can really work for you. Also, one great thing about deal emails, there's almost always an opportunity to send a second email towards the end, a countdown clock or something, last day, 24 hours left. And what that does is it gives you that second chance to go back to the same people, same message, same campaign, and you'll see a spike in your sales if you do that well. So concept number 6 is low monthly payments, meaning you're going forward with talking about that low monthly payment. We talked before about the idea of offering extended terms and things like that, the 6 months free, 12 months free. This isn't that. This is no discount at all. This is really just kind of changing the priority of what you're putting forth in your messaging. So for instance, if you look at most websites, they might have their prices $1,000 and they're as low as monthly payments might show as $99 a month in small print. This is inverting that. This is an email that goes forward with $99 a month as your primary message. For instance, you have a bunch of products that are $1,000. You could show many of those products, related or unrelated, with this $99 a month message on it, and that could be an email that's effective and is not giving away any margin. This next series of ideas we categorize as brand building. One thing people think of when they think of email campaigns is they always think of the price deals, and we have to always send something to someone like that. And the reality of it is you're going to burn out your email list if you send everything the same, no matter what that approach is. So even deals all the time, you'll see unsubscribes start to increase. You need to keep things fresh. So one set of ideas that we want to talk about is things that build your brand. So the first one we'll talk about is we would call assurance marketing. So going to your audience and just letting them know what your warranty is, what your return policy is, things of that nature, to assure them that you're a trusted brand. What that'll do is it will drive some sales now, but it will start to bank away some trust, some confidence. So when that deal email comes in later, they're ready to respond. Number 8 is social proof. Can you go forward and share some things that prove to your audience that you have great product or a great service? So that might be testimonials. That might be comments, reviews, things of that nature. Whatever's going on out there that can show that other people like your product, that other people are resonating with your product, that's what you want to put forward. Keep in mind that for your customers that have already purchased from you, one of the things they want to know is they want to know that they made the right decision. And so by you showing them this trust, they feel good about that decision. They're much more likely to make an additional purchase from you later. So put forward that trust. Make sure that you're conveying that. And that's all these brand building ideas help you do that. Number 9 is ask for reviews. So we just talked about sharing some reviews, but there's the other thing. You could do these combined or on its own is go to your customers and ask them to tell you about what they're doing with your product now, how it's going for them, things of that nature. It'll start to bring up different success stories. You might get some unboxing videos, some other things you can use in your social media, but it also becomes content for future emails. Number 10 is you could feature real customer stories. So again, these are all somewhat related. Think about an email that's just about one customer and the story that they gave you, the story they had, the success they had, the outcome they had with your product, with your service. That could be a really interesting email. And of course, people will want to start to see themselves in that and want their 50 minutes of fame, and it'll start to drive more success stories your direction. Do me a favor, if you're getting any value out of this, take a second and click the like button below. We'll keep the information coming. Let's get on to number 11. Idea number 11 is an enter to win opportunity. Give your customers an opportunity to register and win one of your products or some other great prize. Now, a lot of people don't look at it this way. A lot of people will use those kind of enter to win things as a top of funnel, a way to get people into their email list. And so they'll offer you a chance to win if you sign up and opt in. Just fine. Another great opportunity for a different part of your business model. There's a reason you want to do that. There's a few reasons actually you want to have something like that for your customers on your list. And so I want to explain those kind of hidden agenda things, make sure that you're planning for them. So one is you want to delight your customers, surprise your customers, so they want to open your future emails. So when they see the subject line of an opportunity to win something, they're more likely to open, which gives them an engagement factor with your email as far as how they feel about you. That makes them want to open your next email because it might be another chance to win something else, some other benefit for them. So it reinforces that with your real customer. But then there's one other secondary thing that kicks in here, and several of the other ideas we're going to talk about that's super important that you understand, and that's your health of your email list. You need to know that there's a lot of gatekeepers that affect how your emails are delivered. So Gmail, as you probably know, has a massive percentage of the overall inboxes you're sending to. And you add in Microsoft and a handful of other people, these gatekeepers, these email gatekeepers determine whether your email gets delivered to their spam boxes, to your customers' promotional boxes or other less desirable places, or to that main important inbox. So your email health is affected by how these email providers see you, how they see your emails. So they look at clues to whether your email subscribers want to get your emails. So those clues are open rate, click rate, and replies. So the higher that they see emails from you going into the thousands probably, or maybe tens of thousands, depending on how big your list is, of customers that are getting that same email on that same provider at the same time, they look at that. If they see a high open rate, which enter to win will give you, if they see a high click rate, which enter to win will give you, then all of a sudden that kind of helps your score. It helps your score on that one email, so deliverability on that one email goes up further, and also it helps how they see you long term. So you need to understand that, and you need to make sure that your email strategy isn't just about conversion of a sale on an individual email, but that your email strategy keeps your email list healthy at the customer's happiness and those email gateway keepers' happiness as well. So enter to win, good thing to add in a couple times a year, keep your list healthy. Number 12 is new product launches. How can you leverage every time you have a new product with your email list? So we just talked about keeping your email subscribers engaged. Think about letting them in a little early on your new products. Think about giving them a chance to get on a waiting list, or maybe preview the product to them even a few hours before the public gets to see it, and tell them that you're giving us some insights that nobody else has yet. So engage your customers with your new products and use new products as a way to drive new sales. If you have a new product coming out, what else might go with that? You might be able to rise sales for a bunch of different products all at once. Think about how new product can be an exciting topic for a campaign, an email campaign that could really drive sales. This next category of ideas we kind of group as educate, motivate, and entertain. So we've already talked about how important it is to keep people on your email list, wanting to get your emails, keep them engaged with you and your emails. So make sure that you're doing something in the mix that keeps them engaged from a standpoint of knowledge or entertainment or something where they look forward to not just getting specials, but getting something else from you. The first idea for this might be tips and tricks. What do you know about how customers could be using your product or related products to what they do that would benefit them, that you could educate them, you could give them a tip or a trick that would make their lives better? If you sell camera gear, give them some tips on how to use their cameras, how to light them, how to do something that you feel like would genuinely benefit them. So a tip and a trick, something that would be valuable, will get your open rates up, will engage your customers, will keep them happy. Next up is solve a problem. That same kind of thing. You know your customers. What problems do they have? And how could you provide some information for them to solve that problem? Could be stuff you create. Maybe this is a way to feature your staff and show yourself as knowledgeable as someone who helps people in your category. Maybe if you don't have this content, maybe you can go find some people that create content that would be helpful, and you're just featuring a video or some blog post or something like that that you would perhaps share with some partner. But again, you're engaging your customers, you're giving them something that helps them, which is you're solving a problem. Idea number 15 is listicles. So basically that's just a fancy name for anything that's a list, top 10 list. That might be the top 10 best-selling products that you have, or the top 10 best-selling products in a category. Or if you want to make it a little bit more engaging to your customers, think about, can you make a top 10 list of gift guide items for what they do? So it's not all your product on there, but is there some other way that you can use a list, which is a great way to format something, people understand it, can engage with it, can take it in quickly. How could you make a list that could be a whole email that would be interesting and would educate, motivate, and help your customers? Number 16 is FAQs. You get questions all the time in your customer support, things like that. What questions are people asking? Because the chances are if a few people are asking the same question, that probably a lot of people on your list have that question. Think about featuring that question and giving an answer that would help a bunch of people on your list. It's a really easy way to have a great content piece that will help your audience. The idea behind all this, educate, motivate, and entertain, is to position you, your company, your brand as a guide, as a helper, as a friend. Again, this is investing for the future. This is investing in earning the trust that'll help you get sales over and over and over again, building lifetime value of your customer. This group of email things, make sure they're part of your campaign plans and mix them in. Idea number 17 is to use influencers, artists, or other experts. Bringing emails to your folks from you is great, but is there a third party that you can engage content with? So maybe you've got influencers that use your product that are well known, maybe they're artists, maybe they're, have some, they're publishers, something like that where people know them and trust them. Think about doing an email that talks about your product, or maybe it doesn't talk about your product at all. Maybe this is, again, solving a problem for your customers, but utilize that third party influence to make sure your customers understand this isn't all about you, this is about them. Number 18 is refer a friend. How can you encourage the people on your list to tell their friends about your product, about your service? Is there a way that them using your service and their friends using it would benefit them? If so, make sure you're putting that better together kind of message forward. Tell that story, tell them how to tell it. People want to tell their friends what they have and they want to engage with their friends. Give them that mechanism. If you can do a discount, try to do a discount that's for the person that's sharing and the person that gets it. That sharing is caring, again, comes across better together. it gets across in now with a deal, as well as it gives you a chance to kind of crystallize your messaging around that, engage more people with more friends. You'll get new customers, and you'll also reinforce with your customers their trust in your brand and your business. This next set of ideas we call get personal. We all like to shop where everybody knows our name. If you have a physical shop, that's hard. It's hard to remember everybody that walks in, what they purchased. But online, you have the opportunity to know a lot of interesting things thanks to data. So you should, first of all, know their name, and hopefully you know their first name. So this starts with just using the name, and that could apply to pretty much any of these 25 ideas that we're talking about. But how could you do some email campaigns that are actually focused on them as individuals, that make them feel like they're being seen and heard as individual people? The first approach to getting personal is asking them a question. Literally ask that person a singular question. It might be about their shopping experience with you or something like that, but it could be a trend. It could be something going on in the world. Whatever you want to ask them about that would fit your brand and your relationship with that person, ask the question. Now, here's the pro tip to this. Actually ask it in a way that they can reply. In fact, encourage them to reply, to hit the reply button. Now, I talked earlier about email gatekeepers. Those email gatekeepers are looking for signals that these people do want to get your emails. So I talked about open rate, talked about click rate, but what's the ultimate signal that you got an email that you wanted to get? Well, it's that you replied to it. And of course, most businesses don't build anything in to get physical replies or direct replies. So if you do that, then you will send a stronger signal. You will increase deliverability to that customer for a long period of time, potentially, because of that very positive signal, and also bump up the health of your entire list. So think about something like this. If you have a massive list, that might be pretty daunting because of the number of emails you might get. So maybe you have to do segmentation to do this. But think about, how could I ask a question and literally encourage people to answer me, and maybe you can even reply. That'd be great. Idea number 20 is take a poll. This is similar to what I just said with the ask them a question, but in this case, you narrow down the options. So this is more specifically, here's the question, here's your options, click on one of those things. So what this does is it does drive click-through rates up. It doesn't give you replies, like free style replies, but it does drive up click rates. So that's a really good thing. And again, you're letting your customers feel heard and be heard. And one thing you could do is, if it's an interesting topic that they might want to know the outcome, you can let them see the status of the poll when they go to the page and see how the vote's going. Or you can send an email later to those who participated telling them what the results were. Then that's an additional way to engage and be personal. Number 21 is a birthday email. So you want to get really personal, want to get in the friend zone, send somebody an email on their birthday. Not very many brands do that. So you can really stand out and you can show that you care. Now, you have to have the birthdays first, and getting those can be a little tricky, so be careful. Of course, don't ask for the year, only the month and date. And so if you're willing to take the extra effort, go start to grab that information and start to engage with your customers, be able to be closer, be in the friend zone with them. If you wanted to go one step short of that, you could just ask for their birth month and just send a group email to everybody who was born in a specific month on the first day of the month. That's not quite as good, not as quite in the friend zone, but it's pretty close to it. Either one of those things can help you have an email to send to folks that engages them and makes them feel personal and feel heard. Idea number 22 is an anniversary email. My favorite version of this is when you send them an email exactly 1 year after their first purchase from you, celebrating that and asking them how it's going. This will do a couple things for you. It will show them how much you care. It'll show them that you've tracked them, and you care enough to call this out on a specific day. So send that email, and I would suggest in there, ask them how it's going, and just tell them thank you. This is another way to reinforce that relationship. You also find the hidden benefit. It'll remind them that you're there. And for a lot of products, that 1 year is that cycle to where they're going to be ready to upgrade, ready to get an additional one, ready to tell a friend. So this is really a way to just keep you in front of people at the right time in the right place. And now you're doing it to them, not some email that went to everybody. So there's an engagement factor there that will give you a higher level of result. You should be treating everybody on your list special. They should be getting benefits that people who just visit your website randomly don't get. What are those benefits? All year long and all your campaigns, you probably have been pointing that out, but let's make sure we have a concerted effort to call them out as you're getting VIP access. Maybe that is that new product that you let them know of before anybody else knows. Maybe it's asking for opinions on future products that nobody else has. But how can you showcase VIP access? Are you giving them special support, perhaps? Do they have a way to reach you by email that other people don't have? What could you do that could let them know that they're VIPs? Send them an email. Send a whole email campaign that just talks about VIP access to our brand. Number 24 is handpicked for you. Show customers that you care by giving them some personal suggestions. You've undoubtedly seen Amazon, who's kind of the king of this, do that. You get an email from them showing what they think you might be interested in, which is some combination of what you searched or what you've purchased in the past, and they suggest those items to you. And what that does is it keeps you engaged and thinking about those products. How can you do something like that? Depends on your technology, of course. Think about some way, somehow you can convey a handpicked for you message. Item number 25 is holidays. Holidays are a great platform to create campaigns around. There are the traditional holidays like Mother's Day, 4th of July, Groundhog Day. There's the e-commerce type of holidays, Amazon Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, things like that. But there's also a ton of internet made up holidays that can be a great platform for your business. Look through that massive list of those and find some that apply to your business that you can have some fun with. A few examples of those might be Star Wars Day, Left-Handers Day, Ice Cream Day, Take Your Dog to Work Day. There's all kinds of great special days to choose from. Pick the ones that'll work for you. So in February, by all means, do an email campaign leading up to Valentine's Day. But depending on your business, you should also be prepared for National Peanut Butter Lovers Day, which is celebrated just a few weeks later on March 1st. So there you have it, 25 actionable email ideas. Which one are you going to apply? Tell me down in the comments which is your favorite. And before you go, a couple of other things. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos. And also, I've queued up a couple other videos here for you so you can keep learning and growing. Turn up your marketing. See you next time.